Hello guys. All right, let's look at charts here. We're going to start with USD Index. So last week and for the last couple of weeks we've been looking for the head and shoulders breakout, and um, we got it. So last week, this is the projection that I made, ABC formation here. We broke out and actually went exactly to the high of that A and then pull back. So I'm still expecting a little pullback to this neckline and then continuation up into the C area right here, this zone right here. So I am still bullish on USD with a potential pullback, and it's actually 1 minute before market open. We might have a little gap. USD, there's been some news, Trump nominating new Fed chair. I think it was on Friday actually, Friday morning that the first chatter was about it. We might gap up or down on USD in the next 30 seconds. So I'm going to write down USD going up. All right. So I'm going to mark off that area here like that. Like so. So I'm looking for um, this level to be reached. All right. So let's move on. What do we have here? Euro. So on Euro, it's a pretty good setup this week. We last week we posted this support resistance area here, and Euro actually went up pretty much right to it, and then back down to our trend channel here. And again, that's what I've been expecting it to kind of bounce around here and then finally break it. It's just been kind of delayed, and we definitely tested these highs, and now I'm expecting the same thing. There's not going to be any changes here. I'm still bearish on Euro, ECB. We had ECB on Friday, and it pretty much tanked all day. Actually, on Thursday we had ECB, and so it's been tanking for the last 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and won't be surprised if it bounces a little bit on Monday today, and then I'm pretty certain that it's going to break this trend channel and then continue lower. So I'm going to write down Euro, still bearish, pretty much going to follow this forecast here. And so let's look at other pair, other currency, Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar is doing exactly what we anticipated. We have this bear flag here. We broke it, and now we're trying to complete this head and shoulders. I'm still expecting it to go down and then bounce up for another for the right shoulder. But the neckline will be established um, somewhere. It may not be horizontal like this, although it would make a lot of sense. But a lot of times you're going to have um, slanted, sloped necklines, so it could look something, could look something like this too. You know, if this is the low, we can bounce around here, post another shoulder, which will actually possibly reach this neckline. So overall, I'm still pretty bearish on Canadian, so I'm going to write down CAD down. Let's look at British pound. When I started a few weeks ago on this currency, I was talking how we're in the middle of this trend channel, so we could really go either way. I've been pretty bullish on British pound, and we didn't get this pullback. We just started going up following this arrow here. So I'm still expecting it to at least test these highs and then possibly go higher to this trend channel and this support resistance. So I'm still pretty bullish on British pound, so I'm going to write down GBP up. All right, let's look at Swiss franc. Not much here. Still following the projection. Bouncing off of that trend line still. Thinking it's going to break this trend line here and go lower. Of course, now this downwards trend line is becoming a factor, because if we do break it instead, because we're getting trapped here right now, right? So you have this triangle. So if we do break out, we could go higher. So we need to watch for this support, because we're kind of bouncing off of it now, and we need to be aware of this triangle now that we have formed. And let me change the color of it so you can see it. Okay, it's a little pretty thick. Okay. Yeah, if we fail to break this support, we could expect it to break upwards and then go higher. So we're going to be watching it. I'm not going to write down anything for Swiss franc, because it's pretty trapped right now. So I'm not interested in it at this point. So let's look at Japanese yen. Japanese yen is following the forecast. We were expecting it to bounce off of this support and go up, and that's what it's doing, as you can see. So I'm still expecting it to go higher, and then maybe pull back and break out. So it's getting more and more trapped, obviously. So I am still pretty bullish on JPY as I was last week. So I'm going to write down JPY up. Let's look at the next pair, Australian dollar. So same thing here. I've been hesitant about Australian dollar because it's in the middle of this channel. So you can really go either way. I'm still pretty hesitant about trading it. Like I said, it can go either way. If we do decide to break lower, we'll be looking for longs off of the trend channel. But if we break out this resistance, we'll be looking for longs going possibly into this trend channel high. So overall, I'm not that interested in Australian dollar this week, so I'm not gonna write anything down. And I gotta look at the news. I haven't looked at the news that are coming up this week. I gotta do that. Forecast that we had originally, and I've been looking for a pullback to this neckline, and we haven't really gotten it yet. I was hoping last week that we would get it earlier, and it went all the way down to here, which is where the breakout started, right here. So the breakout started here, and that's pretty much where we went. So found support here, New Zealand dollar, and now it's trying to bounce. I'm long New Zealand US dollar, so I'm looking to short the neckline. Be bearish on New Zealand, so I'm gonna write down New Zealand down. All right, so these are the major currency indexes. So now we're looking at the chart. On my sticky note, I got. So I'm looking for pairs or currencies that are going opposite, right? So I'm gonna write down Euro USD going down, USD Canadian going up, British Pound USD going. Oh, that's not going anywhere because they're both going up. Let's see. New Zealand NZD USD going down, and then we have Euro British pound going down, and then we have euro, Japanese yen going down. Let's see, we have NZD JPY going down, and then we have CAD JPY going down, and we have what else? G British pound, New Zealand going up. I think that's it. Alright, so quite a few pairs. Let's go over them. Now first, let's look at a couple of pairs that we looked at last week. Swiss franc, Japanese yen. We were looking for the move down, and it kind of started, although we took a little bounce. So still look at GCAD last week. Now, obviously a good bounce here, still going up. Last week we were looking at, let's see, I'm not sure why I had this. Looking for this type of move here, and we pretty much got it. Took a little pullback. This was a 260 pip move up. Actually went a little bit higher than I projected. I projected the C level there, but we went a little bit higher to these highs right here. All right. So then we looked at British pound, Swiss franc. Also kind of similar. I was looking for a little pullback to that trend line and then going up. We never got it, but we still went up, but we didn't go as high as I planned. I was thinking we would go to the close and open of these bars, and we just missed it by a few pips there. All right, so that was pretty good. UCAD as well, pretty good forecast here. We didn't get a pullback to SRS, and we actually went right through my projected B level high, which was this resistance, and we went right through it, and then we went even higher. And I guess I was hoping, yeah. So this SRS here is actually the target, the 129.75. All right. So then we also looked at USD Swiss franc. We projected it going higher all week, and it did. And it hasn't reached that resistance there yet at 1009. So the trend is still up. I mean, I'm pretty bullish on USD, so I expect it to keep going higher. You have SRS right here, so this would be probably be a good area for it to go higher, like so. But it's only 150 pips here, but that's reasonable for that pair. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now let's look at some of these pairs for this week. Euro USD, pretty bearish. We broken this trend line. Try to pull back to it, went lower. So obviously this is. I'm not sure why I didn't save it from last time. I think I had it last time. So this is the daily. This is 4 hour. Okay. So I'm still looking for it to go down. So we have this SRS level. If we pull up to it, we also have this level here. So any, this zone basically is a good area to short. So on the daily, it would look something like this, and then probably go down into, and probably go down into this area here, this SRS. Oops. What you doing? Here we go. All right. So that's one. Then we have UCAD going up, and it's not much. We're almost to that target, so I'm kind of skeptical buying it. This was a good buy that we didn't get fill last week, but we hit some targets from previous swings, so that was fine. Um, we closed pretty bearish, but yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of hesitant in buying this right now. Um, let's look at NU going down. So I'm already long, and I'm long into this SRS right here, which is not that strong, but so we're looking at shorting, looking at shorting this area here, and then we got Euro British Pound. So you can see it's a pretty strong trend up on monthly. We're kind of touching it. Let's put it on all the charts like that. So you can see it right there. If we do break it, and I'm pretty bearish on Euro and bullish on British Pound, and we got a pretty good fill right here. We got a pretty good fill on Thursday, I think. Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday. And so we're going pretty good on that trade, and obviously we could pull back to this little SRS and then short more if you want to, or if you missed that trade. Um, yeah, last week we were looking for it to break down here, and then it actually went up and tested that high. It's actually multiple highs here. So still pretty bearish on this pair. Expecting it to do something like this. Yeah, something like this is good. And that's 360 pips. Euro JPY. Let's see, we've been expecting this down move. Obviously, I've been bearish on this pair, and we instead decided to test these highs right here and then sell off. So that was kind of self-evident, but I think I was too bearish and didn't wait for it to go higher. But nevertheless, still looking for it to go lower. So some kind of pullback to that little SRS there, and then down from there. Okay. Let's see, NJ. NJ, we're looking to move lower, and it's a pair I haven't looked at in a while. We got some kind of trend here, kind of a sideways sloping up trend. We have, I call it 3 lower highs, 1, 2, 3, and then we break this, and then we'll go lower, and then we break the trend line. So if we, pull back to that trend line, that's shortable, down to this support here. Down to this support here, which will give you 270 pips. Not a bad trade. Pretty simple stuff. Let's put it on all the charts. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good trade. I'll probably take it. CAD JPY. CAD JPY projecting lower. Let's look at some trend lines here. Yeah, we're kind of broken it, definitely. Broke that trend line. Now we're trying to form some kind of channel here. Let's put parallel channel, something like this, right? So still bearish on it. Not sure about the entry. I mean, we have some kind of SRS here that was filled already. A lot of people are gonna take this daily. You can see you have that doji on a daily, so they're gonna think it's a bit bullish. So we could actually move up to that trend channel high there. So I'm not that interested right now in shorting it. Yeah, it's not that clear yet because there might be some bullish activity on it. British pound and ZD, the last pair. We never got pullback here. We broke out of that high. There's a potential monthly SRS there. Kind of broken that trend line on a 4-hour. Let me get rid of this. Let's see. Yeah, so you have this type of SRS on daily, and I might buy that actually. It doesn't look too bad. It really kind of depends on how much British pound will move higher and New Zealand move lower, because we already moved up, um, you know, almost 1,000 pips, 900 pips from those lows. So if we're going to take a measured move, from these lows to these highs, and then project it higher, so from SRS entry, you have a potential of 650 pips. So that would be a pretty good trade. We just got to find a good entry. So that's it for today. I'm gonna post some trades in the swing trades shortly today, and I will talk to you guys in the room.